good. Good morning here from the Don Kennedy Aquatic Centre in Hobart. My name is Hein Engelbrecht, and next to me is Stewie.
Hello there, Hein. As we watch these last 30 seconds of this pre-game time tick down, we've got the under-19 men's division competing in Court 2 today. Australia men versus South Africa men. It's going to be a tight contest. Just want to pick you up on a little point of contention here, Hein. Aquatic centre or aquatic centre?
Aquatic for us. My home language actually Afrikaans, so I'm struggling with the English now and then. Being married to an English lady, Bronwyn Parker, so I'm trying to get my English right.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, at least you know now that there is a little bit of a point of contention as we see these two very well-matched teams kick off here for this first game of day 6. You can see the South Africans winning that strike and the left forward just sliding over the right forward. And Aussie guys are quick to regain possession here on this near side wall, Hein.
Yeah, no, they swam straight to the side of the wall and they're working it up on the side as South Africa get possession of the puck and swim it to the centre of the pool as both these teams desperately need to win this game.
Yeah, that's right. As we see the guys go over the far side of the court, you just want to read out the statistics of where these guys are at on the ladder there, Hein. I think, you can do it if you like.
Yeah, no, it's Great Britain leading this division and France second, New Zealand third, Colombia fourth. So Africa fifth, and then Argentina sixth, United States 7, Australia lying 8th. But the advantage for Australia here, Stuart, is they're playing against the USA later today, and South Africa is playing against France. That'll make the difference.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously the Aussie boys are being affected by their 3-2 loss to the Argentinians, which was, obviously unfortunate for the Australians, but an amazing result for the Argentinians, having this being their first World Championships in the under-19 division ever. So I know those lads are pretty happy about that. As you can see, the South Africans picking up an advantage puck and pressing on that far side wall there, Hein.
Yeah, no, South Africa in the half of Australia, and they're trying to get the puck. They're trying to get movement. You see they're coming through here, straight through the middle, and still possession there, unfortunately, just flicking it forward, and that seems like a goal, Stuart.
Yeah, it definitely might have been. I got a little bit confused with which buzzer was going off there, but we'll switch the camera view to the surface, please, so we can see the referees. It looks to me like the South Africans are swimming back, just waiting to see the number here. I do believe that is goal number 1 to South Africa, so the South Africans taking an early lead, and the Aussies being put under a fair bit of defensive pressure at the moment, Hein.
Yeah, no, you could see there were two sticks on the puck there, and the South Africans just got it away from the Australian player and pushed it forward.
Yeah, that last South African attacker that had the puck right before the goal was scored, he did a really nice job. He had a defender on the goal side, and he sort of did a very nice sort of, like, what would you call it, a blocking move where he pulled the puck back, put his shoulder down, just sort of weathered the storm of that initial Australian defensive move. And another Australian went at him on the other side. He did a nice little reverse curl and then loaded up for a very big flick in between those two Australian defenders there, Hein.
Yeah, no, Stuart, a hard attack here on the South African goal box as they swim right in front past the face of the goal box, and the South Africa absorbing it. And unfortunately for Australia, they just cannot get. It seems like they've got movement here.
They do. They're pressing forward on this attacking move. A couple of really nice drives here as they go all the way to the corner of the tray. Looks to me like that might have actually gone in.
That's gone in.
So number 4 for Australia getting the pat on the head. 14, I should say. So just going to dig that name out. Looks to me like Luke Sutcliffe. So David Sutcliffe's son has put the first goal in for the Aussies, and 1-1. These teams are tied up in the first 3 minutes of this first half, Hein.
Yeah, the South Africans won't be happy with that, as they were. They didn't. I think from the kickoff, Australia were focused just to keep on playing, and they just kept on moving, and the South Africans caught off guard there.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see, this game reconvenes and the South Africans swim off the strike again. Just getting affected. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about the sun coming in the windows. You can see the sun sort of glittering away on the near side of the court here. So luckily for us, the players are on the other side, so we can sort of see them a little bit better. But it is affecting the clarity of the pool this morning. Hopefully the sun goes behind some clouds in a bit. As the referee's calling advantage puck as the Aussies swim a nice defensive line over to near side court. They are going to get an advantage against South Africa, pretty much in the middle of the pool here, Hein.
Yeah, no, what's nice to see is, with 4 minutes gone, we haven't had a lot of infringement. The game is very open. The guys are really swimming and trying to get the puck to move. A beautiful jinx there by the Australian player as he gets his forward moving straight down the middle of the pool.
Yeah, really nice swerve there by Mason Gillespie, the son of one of the best fullbacks Australia's ever had, Mike Gillespie, and also Mike's brother was also a very dominant Australian elite underwater hockey men's player back in the day. So Mason just putting on a little bit of a display of his old man's skills there as he presses forward on this near side court. I think an advantage puck is being called. Sorry, an infringement is being called. I'm not sure. By the looks of it, it's against South Africa again, right near their sub-bench there, Hein.
Yeah, no, that was excellent. He just drew the player and accelerated right past him. Excellent play there by Mason. It's also nice about that you can see those fins are marked. So it also helps us a lot to identify the players.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea for us to put into the feedback of this tournament as the Aussies push all the way up into the corner of the tray there and putting a lot of pressure on the South African defence. This time the Saffers are definitely up to the task, as you can see that puck coming down that back wall, Hein.
Yeah, no, excellent defence there. As it was on our wall, it's easy to make an infringement there with gloving against the side of the wall there. And unfortunately, we got an infringement here as they stop play. We'll see what the call will be. It's a team warning against South Africa, number 2, Simeon Jooste. Yeah, he swam very hard there, but caused the infringement.
Yeah, I didn't see the infringement, what it was for, as Mason Gillespie takes this free puck and flicks it into the centre. South Africans very quick to cut that flick down and drive it over to the left-hand side. Again, a lot of fierce competition going on between these two countries, and it just goes to show that even though they're quite separated in seedings at the moment on the ladder, it's tit for tat right now in anyone's game, Hein.
Yeah, no, in Australia, if you see, they've conceded, even though they're lower down the ladder, they've conceded less goals than South Africa, Stewie. So they obviously got a good defence system going on their team.
Yeah, that's right. As the play is driven back into the sort of right-hand side of the centre channel, the Aussies all the way onto the corner of the tray. The South Africans desperately trying to defend. I think it's been driven out to the far corner again. So a good job by the South Africans again, defending a very hard drive by the Aussies there, Hein.
Yeah, the Australians are staying in the South Africans' half or third of the pool, and they're just not allowing South Africa to come out as they get possession of the puck again and try and swim it past the front of the face before they straighten it up and work it into the goal box. And fortunately for South Africa, they've got 2-3 players down at the bottom. Australia doing very, very well there. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get key possession there.
Yeah, they really needed to recycle that puck back into the centre channel, and unfortunately, the South Africans are up to the task of basically denying the Aussies the ability to do that. They did a nice amount of stealing the puck pressure on that Aussie attacker. So you can see here the puck is on the near side wall, right in the corner. A good spot for the South Africans to have it. Pretty safe in defence, assuming they keep the rotations going. The Aussies are going to get another reprieve here in deep attack. So gloving on the South Africans, another advantage puck for Australia as the South Africans call a timeout pretty much halfway through this first half there, Hein.
Yeah, no, the South Africans, you can't just defend the whole time. And the Australians are prepared just to have the South Africans swimming up and down the side of the back of the pool and not allowing South Africa to get forward movement. So South Africa will need to get some speed behind the puck and start swimming it out. Good move there by number 8, Luke Hanna, as I saw him swimming the puck straight to the corner. But I think the Australians are also allowing South Africa to swim into the corner, as it seems like they don't mind working it out of the corner again.
Yeah, I think both teams are doing a good job. I mean, South Africans putting the Aussies under pressure early, and then the Australians coming back and doing the same thing. So, I mean, it's only halfway through this first half, and again, anyone's game at the moment as we have a look at our major sponsors here. If you're liking the stream service and you do want to put a couple of dollars into the donation box, then please go to gofundme.com/Hobart 2017 as we count down these last seconds of this timeout called by South Africa. It will be an advantage puck deep in defence for South Africa, and the Aussies are just about to take it, as you can see them swimming it into the centre channel there, Hein.
Yeah, no, the South Africans have worked very hard on the defence, as you can see there. They're not allowing any movement for the Australians. As we see another infringement here, early break. That is unnecessary, unfortunately, for South Africa. It could be the nerves and not really listening to the buzzer as they go down underneath the water.
Yeah, sometimes it's pretty hard for the players, especially if you're on the front line. It's, obviously you want to get out of the puck as quick as you can. But you also want to maintain behind that line until the puck is touched. Depending on, it looks like the puck might have gone in the tin here by a big flick from Australia. There are Australian sticks and Australian claps, and it is confirmed as a goal. I think that's number 3 for Australia by the looks of that backward side. Jack Hopkins putting that one in. Jack is the son of another stalwart underwater hockey player from Australia, Eden Brown. So all of those of you that know Eden from around the world, that's Eden's oldest kid, Jack, and he's obviously done his job for Australia there. Australia heading to the lead 2-1 in the early stages of the second half of this first half there, Hein.
Yeah, no, the Australian players drawing us to the right-hand side of our goal box and then just swinging it to the left, and the Australians swimming it straight into the goals there. And South Africa attack very hard here, and they will try and stay in the Australians' half and work it up the side here, and they infringement there, unfortunately, against South Africa again.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure. I think they might have been called for... Did you see what that instruction was called? Was it the infringement was called?
Barging.
Yeah, okay. So not uncommon in a fierce contest game like this to get a little bit of bargy as we'd say it in Australia. And I mean, I think it's important for us. Obviously, the refs would pull people up and chuck them out if they thought it was deliberate, but it's just a function of the game sometimes. You can see the Australians attacking this near side, doing a reasonable job at controlling the puck under pressure. You can see the South Africans desperately trying to regain possession of that puck, and the Aussies doing a good job, but the Saffers getting it back, and now they're on a counter-attack down this near side here, Hein.
Yeah, no, Brandon doing very well there, swimming 45s, and you see South Africa will take it to the inside now, and hopefully they can get some momentum going. And the Australians just bringing it back to the side of the wall, working it up there. As you see, we've got bodies at the bottom of the pool. Good play there by both teams, as they're not allowing any movement at the bottom.
Yeah, the South Africans putting a lot of pressure on the Aussies slowly but surely down this near side. You can see them pulling it off and going on a 45 swim, basically cutting a really nice angle away from the Australian structure and then back to the wall again, back to where the 2-1-2-1 structure works best once there's a bit of space that's been created. So, again, they take it inside. And again, this time the Aussies bring it back out to the outside first, then recycle it back around to an awaiting player there, Hein.
Yeah, no, South Africa did very well there. You know, they were getting meters, they were getting momentum going, and unfortunately they just couldn't capitalize on that momentum they had there.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see in the foreground of the shot, the coach here for the South Africans wearing a really nice tight front zip chesty there, Hein. Can you tell us a little bit about those things?
Oh, it's something that we started, and we swim straight into the goal box. Excellent break through the middle of the Australian team. Excellent play there by South Africa. A lot of speed there. I think it could be Ryan. Let us see. We'll just get to the number now back home so you guys can celebrate that goal.
An amazing big breakaway swim there by that South African forward. We're just waiting to see which player it was, but geez, he took off like an absolute bolt of lightning straight down the middle of the pool. And unfortunately for the Aussies, they really didn't have any kind of defensive reply. It is timeout at the moment. I think the Aussies might have called a timeout here. You can see Steve Cleary, their coach, just going over to the lads and having a chat. Not surprising at 2-2 with 4 minutes and a bit to go in this first half, but an amazing swim by the South Africa there, Hein.
Yeah, no, they had the opportunity and they took it. It was good. Straight swim, kicking very, very hard, accelerating, and it just shows you if you've got speed behind you, it's very difficult to stop you.
Yeah, that's right. He just noticed the space, I think, in between those Australian defenders. Just caught a really good line, as Hines said. You can see Eden Brown in the foreground there, sitting next to her kids, and a whole bunch of other Australian supporters just clapping themselves on the TV. Nice. And we cruise over to the other side, and obviously there's no one interesting there. So now we're looking at the sponsors again, Hein. Oh, there we go. There's some interesting South Africans.
South African supporters up early this morning, as this is the first game of the day. And they definitely, both teams, you can see a lot of parent involvement, a lot of parent support.
Yeah, which is awesome to see. And I'm sure they're barracking their kids on, as you would, as the Aussies get possession back and drive a nice line on the left-hand side here. Getting a 1-2 flick going, and the South Africans doing a good job of cutting down that puck, as I think the buzzer has gone. We'll wait and see who has the advantage. It's the South Africans gaining the advantage. The Australians, the ones infringing, and they'll take an advantage puck in the very centre of the court here, Hein.
Yeah, no, it's a good position for South Africa to attack. As you see the players going down, and this time we have one South African player lying between the forwards of the Australian players, and hopefully they just keep it going straight. But Australia capitalise on that flick that South Africa threw into the Australian forward there and picking it up very well there by Australian player and swimming it hard. You don't want to lose possession. You want to keep possession. And unfortunately for South Africa, this time it didn't work so well as we regained possession and a hard swim down the side here. Very good swim. I just given that number of that player. Good play there, South Africa, and Australia not allowing South Africa any movement as they get possession and swim it to the middle of the pool. And we've got 3 minutes to go in the first half, and not one team will want to give away a goal there with Brandon swimming straight to the side, allowing number 8, looks like Luke Hanna, to come in. And South Africans playing hard there with number 7, Austin Elfrink, really working it up on the side there, Stewie.
Yeah, you can see the South Africans going on a nice attack off their sub bench, getting a couple of good freshies in there, and really trying to establish a bit of a energy to create an attacking drive. The Aussies being up to the task in that case as the play goes all the way to the other side of the court and then back on a 45 into the centre channel. The Australians are just getting pushed back by the South African defender here as he brings it out to the safety of the side wall. Aussies getting not too bad numbers around the puck, maintaining a little bit of possession with a backward pass there, but under pressure, Hein.
Yeah, no, under pressure there as the South Africans are pushing hard there with Kobus van Escape swimming very, very hard there and not allowing the players to move forward. And they had to move to the side of the pool again, to the far side, and South Africa working it up on the far side of the pool as the Australians need to defend now with 2 minutes to go in the second half. And it seems like South Africa will swim straight through again. Excellent play. The speed helped there again, Stuart.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I mean, what a great swim by that South African attacker there. Looks like it's going to be number 12 or 13, I believe.
Yeah, one of our, could be, 12 and 13 are both big players. So, so that's a good play there by South Africa. They just kept on swimming. You could see the Australian catching up, but there was just not enough time to stop that movement of South Africa.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Aussies, they went for the switch over the other side, and it looked to me like it was working initially, and then they just kind of got caught out by that fast South African forward. The defence, the Australian defence, just getting caught napping with space in between them, maybe squared up a little bit. And Jesus, the South African lads made them pay for it with a big swim straight down the left-hand side. As you can see, another big hit coming from the South Africans there, Hein.
Yeah, no, we're seeing some good hockey here from both sides. You know, not a lot of infringements, and the game is starting to open up, and the players are starting to enjoy it as there's infringement against Australia with all the pressure coming with number 8 there, Luke Hanna. That goal could have been scored either by number 12, Joel Hanna, or number 13, Kobus van Escape. You guys back home could have seen it. We didn't get that on our monitor. As Africa attacked straight down the middle, swimming hard and not flicking forward and just keeping the puck on the stick. And the Australian players swimming it straight to the side of the pool there. Good possession there by the Australian players. As we see number 2, Simeon Jooste working it up. And the South Africans are just working. Number 7 coming in, Austin Elfrink, trying hard not to give the puck away against South Africa. Unfortunately, gloving there by Luke. On the right-hand side of the pool for those African players playing up against the wall, it's difficult not to have gloving infringement.
Yeah, that's right, it is. You can see the Aussies setting up here. Definitely very hard on the right-hand side. When you're a right-hand player, you know, your glove's the thing that's on the wall, not your stick, and it can sometimes just quite easily get hit onto your glove during an aggressive, play by, a South African and an Australian. The person with their right hand on the wall is the one that's probably going to glove the puck, as we can see another infringement being called here, and I think it is another advantage puck for Australia.
I think it's half-time, Stuart.
Oh, no, there you go. It is half-time.
Half-time, yeah.
Obviously, my patriotic juice is just flowing a little bit too much as we see the teams swap side. They're going to get 3 minutes off here to have a chat, have a drink, and get themselves out of the water if they want. You can see Coach Steve Cleary just casually cruising over with a little bit of a turtle swim to the Australian side of things, as you can see the South Africans doing a similar or cutting a similar line to their side, and the South African coach a little bit more energetic than Steve. He had a little bit of freestyle going there, Hein.
Yeah, Johan de Kock swimming, just showing he's a swimmer as well, Stuart. The South African team will be happy with this position. Obviously, they don't want to concede a goal yet. But Australia and South Africa playing some beautiful hockey so early in the morning, as this is the first game of the day before the round robin start. Yeah. And as I said, South Africa's got a difficult game after this against France, and Australia's got United States, so it's going to be tough for both teams to keep playing.
Yeah, that's right. Both teams, as you said before, definitely want to come out of this game the victors. Interestingly enough, just getting back to those tight South African chesties there, Hein. Obviously, the coach, Johan de Kock, sporting one of those today. Just interested to see, like, where do you think his zipper would be at the moment? You reckon it'd be high and tight or just sort of low and casual?
No, it's actually something that South Africa started just to say thank you to the coaches and give them something to wear and identify them. And they're very proud of those vests that they are wearing. And you won't get South African giving that away.
Oh, well, I'll be very proud of that thing as well. They are very nice and tight, and just displaying a lot of vascular qualities by these South African coaches in all divisions. I was having a chat to a couple of the other coaches, I think, for the under-23 team, and those two lads were very impressed with their little tight front zip chesties and showing a lot of South African patriotism. And I'm not sure if those things actually keep them any warmer than not wearing them, but they certainly are very South African.
No, they're very South African, and it makes sure that we keep our coaches fit. Because if you wear that with my body, it won't.
That's
so
true.
Good.
That is an excellent way of keeping the dad bod away from the South African coaches. Because if you've got a dad bod and you've got a bit of an underhang coming out the bottom of those things, that's obviously not a good look. No one wants that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I like the way that South Africa is playing with the psyche of their coaches. Just keep them fit, keep them focused, and keep them in the zone for wearing these tight front zip chesties there, Hein.
Yeah, no. But if you look at the Turk coaches, you see them, the Turkish coaches, they make on the side of the pool, they make a statement with their body posture as well.
I will definitely keep my eye out for that as we see the last couple of seconds count down, and this second half kicks off with South Africa leading Australia 3-2. A vigorous game fought by both of these teams so far in the first half as the South Africans win the strike, go for the cheeky little flick forward, and unfortunately the Aussies are going to get an advantage puck. I'm not quite sure what that infringement was for there.
It was for a huge flick there by South Africa, and it looked like a dangerous flick.
Oh, really? Is there someone in the bin?
Let's see what's going to happen here, because the refs aren't happy,
It looks like number 7 for South Africa is going to go spend a little bit of time in the bin, and I think you might be right. It might have been a dangerous flick, unfortunately. Very easy to do off the strikes, as both strikers generally coming very strong and hard with their heads low at the puck. So quite easy if you're not careful to pick that puck up a little bit too much and put it a bit closer to the head there, Hein.
Yeah, unfortunately for Joel, both his parents are sitting in the pavilion, so they want to enjoy having his son sitting on the side there, and unfortunately for South Africa, taking the kickoff, but with a huge flick after the kickoff, and the refs picking that up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that advantage puck just there. The Aussies just took it, and the refs pulled it up straight away, and then as they take it again, they go through the middle here. The South Africans just sort of hold him back, except for that one defender in the centre. I believe the fullback, Mason Gillespie, doing a lot of hard work just trying to regain possession. But well done to the South Africans for driving it over to this near side wall here, Hein.
Yeah, no, Brandon doing very well there for South Africa as he got it between the two Australian players, swimming it straight to the side of the wall, as we'll have a lot of substitution taking place on the South African side with Matthew Penning working hard there in the corner. And, is that a barging warning?
Yeah, obstruction, barging. It is going to be against the Aussies and for the South Africans. So the South Africans get a little bit of pressure released here, and they get an advantage puck right next to their sub-bench here, Hein.
Yeah, South Africa want to play anywhere now with 5 players that like to play here and just rotate their players in the water as we wait for our 6th player to get in. And the Australians know they're in a good position as they work it up into the middle of the pool, and they got a very good position here. Unfortunately for them, South Africa get their stick on the puck and swim it far out to the side, and Australia's got the puck back here, Stewart, as they work it through the middle. A good flick there onto the stick of the Australian player. Australia's in a very good position here to score.
Yeah, they are, as the flick gets chopped down by the South African defenders. A very nice defensive move there at full extension, basically. So credit to those South African lads in there, because if that flick had come off clean, they would have been very hard-pressed to stop it from going in the tray, as the Aussies pressed an advantage again on the 90-degree run and then straighten up, and that puck has gone straight into the tin there, Hein.
Yeah, it looked like one of the South African sticks floating around in the pool. So obviously South African losing his stick as well. But the Australians were playing very, very well there. You know, they just they worked their way to the goal box, didn't get a goal, puck coming back, and they worked their way again to the goal box, and eventually the goal came. And well done to the Australian players. They just stayed patient and rolled it and rolled it and rolled it, and goal came off.
Yeah, that's right. Number 1, Mason Gillespie scoring that 3rd goal for the Australians. So 3-3. The game is tied again. A very nice basically push up by the Australian fullback there, and managing to overlap and just sort of come from a defensive position and turn it into a nice attacking move and ending up in a goal as the South Africans put a bit of pressure on the Aussies, and the Aussies released that pressure by swimming sideways and coming over to this near side wall under their sub-bench again, Hein.
Yeah, no, very good play there by Australia, getting the puck from the kickoff, working it to the back, and South Africa capitalising on the fact that they had more bodies at the bottom, and especially number 4 there, Michelle Salia, looking at the opportunity of cutting the puck off and working it up, as we have one Australian player thrown out here for 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, and I didn't see the signal, but as we just wait to see the number, he's not very happy about it. Number 10 there for Australia, Roy Trumbull, is going to spend 2 minutes in the bin for deliberate obstruction by the sounds of it.
Oh, yeah.
You can see the South Africans taking the puck off their advantage over to the right-hand side and then straightening up and trying to attack that right-hand corner. The Aussies on their last defender in a bad position as he rocks and rolls with a South African attacker. And unfortunately for the South Africans, they are going to get an infringement for obstruction in their deep attack. So the Australians getting a little bit of a let-out-of-jail free card there, Hein.
Yeah, no, the Australians did very well there. They swam the puck straight to the rear wall and kept on swimming. They didn't take the power off the puck there, and they kept the pressure on South Africa. And South Africa, unfortunately, they swam straight into the Australian player as he couldn't make any movement there, and the refs picked that up and made a call against South Africa.
Yeah, that's right. As this game continues and the Aussies going for a bit of a drive down that far side court, the South Africans re-attacking. You can see them counter-attacking, regaining possession and pushing a couple of really strong lines, a couple of really strong swims, recycling that puck. They're coming on a nice inside 45 at the moment, under pressure by Australia, but still maintaining possession. The referees have called an infringement. It's going to be against the Aussies for a stick infringement, and the South Africans will be pretty happy with that, Hein.
Yeah, no, what's nice this morning as well, being the first game, we can see right to the other side of the pool. So it's a good time now to commentate. It's much easier than later in the day when we get a lot of the water quality not going bad, but it's very easy now so early in the morning to commentate.
Look at that little mushroom bowl cut that kid in the left-hand bottom side's got. I am very impressed with the general shape of that haircut he's got there, Hein.
Yeah. No, he's here to be seen by the TV cameras picking him up. And
you can see the South African supporters there just having a good time watching their team play, as the Aussies are. As we pan back out, just a reminder, the Australians are playing one player down at the moment. I'm pretty sure number 10 there, Roy Trumbull, has got about a minute or so to go as Steve Cleary has called a timeout for the Aussies with about 15 seconds remaining in this timeout. You can see the Australian coach just coming back into his coaching area. He's got a little bit of a tight vest on as well, but that's more what the Aussies would call a rash vest. And it doesn't have a zip at the front, so unfortunately he can't just sort of, if he's hot, he can't zip it down. If he's cold, he can't zip it up. So we might have to go back to the drawing board with our tight chesties there, Hein.
Yeah. No, South Africa, they're still playing very, very hard here, and they don't want to give away possession here, as we've got lots of bodies at the bottom of the pool. Australia swimming it out. Beautiful move there by Australia, just not getting frantic, and they just kept their composure and got their stick onto the puck and swam it out straight to the corner of the pool. As South Africa trying to work it back, as the number 10, as you rightfully said, sitting on the side of the pool. I think his infringement was for 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. 2 minutes for deliberate obstruction, so the referees said, and that's definitely the sentence that he will serve out. As you can see, the South Africans still pressing and attacking advantage in that far corner. I'd be very surprised if the South African lads don't try and rip it out and come off the wall a little bit, put a bit of attacking pressure on the Australian goal tray. You see the Aussies doing a pretty good job of keeping it over there at the moment, but as always in these kind of high-pressure, intense defensive plays, it's very easy to get a breakdown in rotation, particularly if there's a lot of pressure being applied, as the South Africans get another advantage puck in their deep attack. So it'll be interesting to see what the South African lads can create here, Hein.
Yeah, let's see if South Africa can get their players lined up and hopefully get the swing going and get speed, as we got good speedsters that we saw earlier in the game. Even though the game was very close, we saw some beautiful goals, 3 goals from each side. And it's such a close contested match, you don't really see a score 3-all.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's indicative of the quality of these two very competitive teams here, as the Aussies get an advantage puck for an stick infringement on the South Africans. I mean, from what I've been seeing, there's been a lot of pressure applied by both teams, and they're not surprisingly under a lot of pressure coming from both sides. Every now and again, there's just a gap that opens up enough for either one of these teams to take full advantage. And in my opinion, that's certainly the way that pretty much all of the goals for both sides have actually been scored here today, Hein.
Yeah, no, Stuart, you're right. They are prepared to play hockey. They're not here to just defend. They're prepared here to open up and score goals, as they know they need to score. And it's good to see the players being positive and working hard and trying to get the structures in place and trying to play good hockey.
Yeah, that's right. As the Aussies get another advantage puck for gloving by the South Africans, they choose to bring it over to this near side here on a quick switch. The South Africans very quick to come over with them, putting a lot of pressure and just catching that knockdown there, regaining possession. A little bit of a reverse curl there and back onto the waiting players. The Aussies doing a good job of getting that puck back. They've regained possession on a nice drive out to the near side on the inside of one of the South African defenders, putting a fair bit of pressure on, recycling that puck, trying to get it off the wall now as they approach the attacking tray here. And the South Africans doing a good job of defending it all the way into the corner there, Hein.
Yeah, no, we saw Australia scoring from here just now, Stuart, so they love this side of the pool on the South African substitution side, and hopefully South Africa can just work their way out here. And Australia, like I said, love this side. Probably their strongest side on the right-hand side. I think they scored most of their goals from here.
Yeah, that's right. You can see the Aussies just going for a nice little swerve, or what the South Africans, I think, call a jinx. And he looked like, as you can see, the goal is confirmed, number 13, I believe, for the Aussies. So Isaac Bridley with a really nice goal there, a la his dad as well, Rowan Bridley, another ex-elite Australian men's player. You can see the Aussie got it on the right-hand side of the tray. He looked like he was going to flick it. The South African was set up for the flick. He came inside instead, maintained possession, drove the puck over towards the centre channel to another awaiting Australian. And those two Aussies just basically put a lot of pressure on the South African defence and got the reward with their fourth goal of this game, Hein.
Yeah, no, Australia definitely. I hope the coach has seen that and he can tell the players to stay on the South African right-hand side, not allow the Australians to play on our rear right. Our rear left, as that's a very strong side of Australia. Australia capitalising again on a very quick swim, and it's going to be very difficult to keep them out. Well played by South Africa, number 2, Simeon.
Yeah, it was a nice swim there by number 2 from South Africa. He had the defensive line, so that Aussie, even though he was swimming hard, was always covered on the inside by that South African defender. So really, even though there was a good swim going on, the South African defence was certainly up to that challenge from the word go. As you can see, the South Africans getting an advantage puck here, and the Australians getting pushed back deep in the South's defence on the far side of the court there, Hein.
Yeah, no, South Africa doing very well there to absorb the pressure, and Australian had to cause an infringement there, luckily for South Africa, and the Australians got the puck here, swimming up straight into the middle of the pool, and Australians prepared to swim backwards and then bring it up forward. A beautiful move there by Luke Sutcliffe from Australia, and the South Africans are on their, well, I won't say weak side, but definitely the Australian strong side. Australia work it up on the right-hand side of South Africa, and a good swing there by the Australian players, swimming it to the centre of the pool, trying to get space. And the South Africans have got to be careful here, as we can see Johan de Kock anxiously clinging onto the side here.
Yeah, that's right. And unfortunately for the Aussies, it's going to be obstruction against number 8. And Sergio there, the referee from Colombia, has decided that number 8 is going to go spend a minute in the bin. So Liam Quinn for obstruction is going to go in the bin for a minute to think about what he's done. As you can see him lazily getting out of the pool there. Not that happy about it probably, as there's a timeout called with 4.5 minutes to go in this game. The Aussies are going to have to go one man down. Obviously not what they would have wanted to happen at this critical moment in the game there, Hein.
Yeah, no, South Africa, I don't know who called the timeout, but obviously it's a good time to call a timeout for South Africa. We need to, with 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go, South Africa really need to work very, very hard, as we need to come back and win this game. But Australia obviously also in the same position as South Africa, as each game is important in this tournament. But like we said earlier, we've still got to play France this afternoon, and Australia is playing the US. So it's a tough day for South Africa in this beautiful centre, this aquatic centre, the Hobart Aquatic Centre.
Yeah, that's right. As we see these last 10 seconds of the timeout countdown, I mean, I'm not seeing too many things wrong with the way the South Africans are playing. Unfortunately, they're just one goal down. So, you know, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. And I do think that if the lads just keep on applying that good pressure on the Aussies, they're definitely standing a good chance of being rewarded by another goal here. As you can see, the play continuing over that far side. Referees are calling a gloving infringement on the Saffers, so it is going to be an Australian free puck just on that far side, just over the halfway mark. As the referees call a timeout to have a little bit of a chat, a little bit of a ref conference, in other words, a reference, and we'll see what. Maybe some people have been taking some pictures in the pool there, Hein.
Yeah, no, I wonder what they want to talk. Just slow down, boys. Stop barging, stop bashing.
Yeah, okay.
Just take your composure. You still got lots of time. We've had a clean game, and don't spoil the game now. Just calm down, boys.
Yeah, that's right. Both captains getting a good talking to by the referees there, so hopefully they'll go and have a chat to their teams and just settle the lads, keep it clean. Keep it nice and competitive but fair, and they'll see this game out here as we go. For the last 4 minutes and 14 seconds, play reconvenes an Australian advantage puck here on the far side. You can see how many players are on the bottom there. It's pretty much everyone except for one person from both sides. The South Africans break out of that pack in numbers, putting a lot of pressure on the Aussies. And a nice run here. Aussies pretty stretched to defend this puck. They recycle it and... looking for a 45. I think the puck has gone onto the wall, and a nice little back flick there by the South Africans. Unfortunately for them, cleaned up by the Aussies in a ferocious competition going on at the moment.
Yeah, hard swim there by South Africa from the start, and they kept on swimming, and a good pick up there by Brandon as he swimmed it straight to the wall. And number 9 coming in there, Dirk van Reenen, also trying hard to get to the puck to the middle of the pool. South Africa need to be patient here as... they were in a very, very good position. Well done there to Australia to absorb all that pressure on the backside of the pool.
So you can see here the referees setting up an advantage puck for South Africa against Australia. Aussies are back to 6 in the water now, and they're going to have to be careful not to break here. As I said before, there's a lot of a lack of space for the defenders as the South Africans do a really nice job of driving it on that 45. The Australian defenders are desperately trying to keep that puck out. They do manage to turn that South African attacker and drive it down the wall, so a little bit of a reprieve here as the Australians sort of consolidate their possession in the corner, but their Australian defence was very, very slow to rotate there, and there was a little bit of a gap that opened up for the South Africans. Luckily, they managed to plug that hole quick enough to stop any kind of drive that came out of the corner as the South Africans curl it back out of the corner again. The Aussies picking up that puck and going for a little swim up the pool, Hein.
Yeah, no, the South African caught offside there as he just didn't see the Australian player right at the bottom of the pool, and when the Australian player got his puck on the stick, he just swam hard and straight, and well done to Australia getting out of that position. South Africa were in a very, very good attacking position, playing very hard there. But at number 12 there, Thomas Robinson from Australia, when the other players went up, I see he just came down and he just held his breath and kept on swimming and swimming and swimming. Well done there to Thomas for keeping South Africa out of the goal box.
Yeah, so unfortunately there's number 14, I believe, Luke Sutcliffe, spending a minute in the bin. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was for a gloving infringement. There was a big drive up the wall, and not surprisingly on that right-hand wall for the Aussies, it's very easy, as we've said before, to glove. And if the referees think that you've done it on purpose and you're gaining a major advantage, then you will spend some time in the sin bin as the refs call another infringement, this time against South Africa, stick infringement. It is going to be an Australian free puck. Underneath 2 minutes to go in this game now, Hein.
Yeah, no, I was getting very excited there, Stewie, as it seemed like South Africa were on the run there, and unfortunately the small little infringement bringing them back as we were in a very, very good position there with only 5 Australian players in the water, and a huge flick there by the Australian player and playing it to the side of the wall. Australia will probably just try and slow it down a bit as South Africa would like to open it up as we could create an overlap here, and South Africa swimming straight to the middle of the pool, trying to get space, but unfortunately for them, Australia just waiting patiently and absorbing all the pressure and swimming it straight to the side there.
Yeah, nice defensive drive there by the Aussies after South Africa picked up that puck, hit a couple of Australian lads. there was a big South African lad that sort of burst through the Australian structure and made that centre channel, but unfortunately he was met there by a well-positioned Australian defence that just managed to pick that puck up and take it over to the far side. So as you can see at the moment, the puck is in the corner again. The South Africans still applying a lot of attacking pressure. The Australians having to do a lot of defending here as we tick just under a minute to go in this game. And still, it's definitely anyone's game. The South Africans could easily come back here as the refs call a refs timeout. And another infringement, this time a stick infringement against the South Africans, unfortunately. So the Aussies getting a couple of quick subs in here, and they will be looking to hold these guys out. The South Africans putting a lot of pressure on the Aussies here in the last few minutes of this game, Hein.
Yeah, no, with 1 minute to go and the sun coming out on the outside of the Aquatic Centre, hopefully the sun will shine on the South African boys here, and they'll take a draw, so they'll do anything to get that puck into the back of the goal box here as they play very, very hard there with Australia. Advantage puck swimming up on the side of the pool. Seems like Australia is getting meters behind them, and South Africa would like to get the puck, and they'll do anything to get the puck into the back of that chin.
Yeah, that's right. These competitors are desperately trying to wrestle advantage as we see the last 30 seconds of this game ticking over. The puck just coming off the wall now. The Aussies on a nice little lateral swim across the other side, just soaking up a bit of pressure by the South African opponents and drawing that play over to the near side here. But unfortunately, the Aussies are pulled for obstruction, I believe, again. It's going to be an advantage puck for the South Africans. 22 seconds remaining. I reckon this is South Africa's last chance of actually putting a goal in here. So let's see what this quality South African under-19 men's team can do here, Hein.
Yeah, no, they'll definitely like to keep possession and swim very hard and straight, and they'll do anything. It's now the time that they need to stay at the bottom of the pool. Even if you feel like you're going to drown, you just need to stay at the bottom and keep on kicking. With 22 seconds to go, the Australians are in a very good position here, but both teams have played some excellent hockey. If we can see this the rest of the day, this being the opening match of the tournament today, good hockey. Not serious infringements, just pure plain good, fast hockey.
Yeah, that's right. Good, competitive, fast, mostly clean hockey. Completely agree with that sentiment there, Hein. From what I've seen, there's been a lot of really good passes put together by both teams. Lots of really strong swims, lots of amazing breakaway goals, particularly from the South Africans. Some good team goals from the Australians. And some good team goals from the South Africans as well, and a lot of pressure being applied by both of these teams. So this game has been a real testament to the competitiveness and dedication that both of these teams bring to this competition here, Hein. As this advantage puck is going to be taken, looks to me like it actually might have been an equal puck, I believe, but the South Africans regaining possession there and trying to drive it down this near side here, Hein.
Yeah, I think that's why we had that long timeout. We had an advantage puck for South Africa, and it was reversed to an equal puck as we have 7 seconds to go with South Africa driving very hard, and unfortunately, I think the bell will save Australia here.
Yeah, that's right. So obviously commiserations for the South African team. As you can see, the jubilation of the Aussie lads, they're pretty happy with that win. Obviously coming from the position of 8th place against the South Africans, holding down 5 at the moment. So the Aussie boys are very happy to take that win. And obviously, as we've said before, a great competition between these two very well-matched teams. So credit to the South Africans for being amazing competitors today, and well done in Australia. And obviously this game is in their favour today. As you can see, the lads cheering each other and just setting up to give each other a heartfelt handshake and a pat on the back. And hopefully these teams will see each other again in the finals there, Hein.
Yeah, no, Stuart, thank you. It was a good match to commentate on as well. It was good hockey, guys, and hopefully we'll see some beautiful hockey today. Thank you, Stuart.
Thanks, mate. And I don't know if we've got enough time. We'll try and have a chat to the lads on the pool. We'll see how we go. Cheers, guys.
and trying to end it off in a good style.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. Enjoy the rest of the day and enjoy the game against France. We've got number 13 here, one of my commentating mates. I think it's Isaac. Isaac, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Isaac, that was a good game to commentate on, and we saw you guys coming back from 1-0 down, and it's starting to play very good hockey there. Easy game to commentate on.
Yeah, like South Africans put a very tough fight, and that was one of the best games that we've played so far. Like, hands down, that was great all game around for both teams.
Yeah, it was great. You know what was nice as well? There was no serious infringements. It was a clean game. It was you could see the guys wanted to play hockey, which was good.
Yeah, everyone's wanting that final last wins to get his best position in finals. So it was very hectic in there and very clean game, which was nice.
Yeah, you guys must be very happy as you playing against America this afternoon, in the US, and South Africa playing against France. So everything counts in your favour.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get a win against the US, but it's all down to whatever happens to the team. We're going all right, hopefully.
Yeah, Isaac, thank you very much for your time and enjoy the game this afternoon.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Isaac.